Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And this is an episode of a series that I call Going For It. At the beginning of every month, when my arena draft rank gets reset, I take that as an opportunity to do what I love best. Build arounds, splashing too much, playing a lot of value cards. All in all, trying to push the boundaries of the format in ways that would get me absolutely smashed if I tried to do it at Mythic rank. So as we jump into this draft, we are looking to play the kinds of cards that you thought no one could ever possibly play in Lorwyn. And the idea is not just to be silly. I do want to at least make my gems back in these drafts, even if realistically we really don't trophy in episodes of Going For It. But above anything else, we're trying to learn where those boundaries are. If you color a little bit outside the lines, you can sometimes find winning strategies that you would never have found any other way. But of course, if you go a little bit too far, you can get absolutely destroyed. So we're trying to live right on that knife's edge today, and of course, have a lot of fun. Let's jump into it. All right, pack one, a very interesting one actually. So remember, this is a don't try this at home draft. We are absolutely going for it. I can't say this enough. I'm not recommending in general to make the picks that I'm going to make today. These are let's have some fun picks. So I'm looking for cards that can support maybe a very unusual strategy, something that is not just your absolutely typical deck in this format. So Pyrrhic Strike, for example, is just a conventionally straightforward and good removal spell. Glamour Gifter is totally sweet, and actually I would love to do an episode of Going For It where I really invest in the fairies strategy. So that's one option for us. And there's also Liminal Hold. Yeah, but I would say I'm really interested in seeing how much I can push Dawnhand Dissident. There, you can go a pretty conventional direction with this card by going in just sort of a blight direction. I've seen people do totally sickening things with this and, for example, Slumbering Walker, where you keep blighting onto your Slumbering Walker, removing the counters from Slumbering Walker, and you're just doing a million graveyard shenanigans. Holy cow, this is going to be... Oh no! This is one of the big disappointments of the format. I was going to say this is going to be like one of the coolest episodes of Going For It ever because we got the mega combo, but these cards, this is actually a total non-combo. And I was really disappointed in the early format with this design. They made it so that when Dawnhand Dissident plays cards from your graveyard, it exiles them first, and then you cast them from exile. Twilight Diviner triggers on enter, something entering from a graveyard. So these two, I haven't actually tried this, but just from reading the cards, I'm almost certain they do not work together. Dawnhand Dissident does not activate Twilight Diviner or trigger it, and so you don't get a token of the card that you pulled out of your graveyard. Really too bad. I actually wish that they had designed it so these two cards play together. That could have been a really cool synergy in the format, but it just wasn't. There may have been a rules reason or commander reason or something for them not doing that. Having said that, I am going to go for the Twilight Diviner, and our idea here is to open Dose of Dawnglow. That's exactly right. So now we're just going for a total graveyard game. Yeah, maybe Bogslith's Embrace would be the best pick, but Dose of Dawnglow is the coolest one. Dose of Dawnglow with Twilight Diviner is a strategy and a half. So I'm not sure we're headed for a trophy in this event, but I'm definitely hoping for that 4-win sweet spot. And we're just going to try to play to the board and have a good curve and as powerful cards as we possibly can. Now, okay, in terms of cards that are actually good in the pack, there's Bogslith's Embrace and Feed the Flames, Temporal Cleansing, Midnight Tilling, a bunch of actually good cards left in this pack. Lava Leaper, I think, is so bad that I wouldn't even play it in an episode of Going For It, to be honest. That is just too far outside the boundaries. But Dose of Dawnglow is absolutely where it's at. Okay, wow. I'm kind of stunned by the cards that we're seeing right now. I have Kulrath Zealot as the best red common. Maybe, I mean, really one of the best commons in the format overall. Bogslith's Embrace is just unconditional removal, and Blightrod is conditional removal. Unwelcome Sprite is super, super strong as well. Soulbright Seeker is amazingly strong. Marrow Sky Swimmer is amazingly strong, and Lissalina Informant is so strong. So I don't know what was up with this pack. I would say the picks are a little bit wonky, and we're just going to keep passing good cards because we are going for it. I kind of like the Blight in synergy with Dawnhand Dissident, by the way. And you could even blight something to the graveyard and then recast it from there. That's something that I could see happening. I don't really want to speculate on what my second color is because we're getting signals all over the place. People just passed us the best common in 4 different colors or something. So I'm not sure that we have a lot of information about where to head from here. But we're very invested now in a black graveyard strategy. I mean, I really want to make Nightmare Sower work. This card, I thought in the early format that this card would be massively powerful. Someone actually totally rolled over me in a draft early in the format with one of these guys. And I thought, wow, this card is just going to be, you know, a absolute menace in the format. And then it just wasn't. Understated and a bit slow, but most importantly, it's in a color or color pair kind of synergy area that didn't really work. Probably I should take the Foraging Wickermaw to have the Surveil to help my graveyard plan, but I just kind of really want Nightmare Sower to be good. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, now I think we have to start making some compromises for card quality. So for example, I could take like Gnarlbark Elm and say, hey, cool, I have some Blight synergies and whatever. So I could Blight onto Gnarlbark Elm and then use it for repeatable removal, that kind of thing. But I think it's time to just start taking some powerful cards. I love Flamekin Guildweaver. This is a signal to see if Flamekin Guildweaver picks 6. It means red is more likely open than other colors at the moment. And red-black could be a sweet way of not just ending up in a very underpowered Elves deck when we haven't seen any green. And we're also seeing a lot of good red cards. So here I could take Blight Rot and just keep trying to cut red. I could also take a Feed the Flames. Both of these are maybe a little bit better in sealed than they are in draft. I think Feed the Flames is fine, but it kind of feeds on the, no pun intended, on the 4 mana or more synergies. I think I'm just going to take a Flamekin Guildweaver. I think this card is just exceptional. It's just been so good in the format. 4/3 Trample just is a good stat line in the format, and making a treasure when it enters is sweet, and enters effects are going to be sweet in my graveyard deck. Oh yeah, we just got another dose of dawnglow. By the way, that is something that going for it really teaches you. I mean, look at this pack. We are in the right color pair. Sourbred Ante, I still think is a very good card. It just so happens that the Goblins deck doesn't have a high win rate, so I think people are down on it overall. 3 bodies for a creature that makes 3 bodies is just an exceptional creature. Bogsoda's Embrace is definitely better than Dose of Dawnglow, but look, we are building around Twilight Diviner right now. I'm all over the dose. Okay, I'll take a Bile Vial Boggart. It's kind of nice to just have a card that, you know, can go to the bin. I could Blight it into the graveyard, Dose of Dawnglow it, and then copy it. I don't know if that's the card that we want to be Dose of Dawnglowing, but I don't think I need Bone Club Berserker when I already have 3 4-drops that are probably better than it. But I'll take a Blighted Blackthorn. I don't mind blighting onto my stuff. It's probably better for me. Well, Brambleback Brute could be... Nah, I like the repeatable blight and draw of the Blighted Blackthorn and the big body. Temporal Cleansing is so strong. I think I'll take it over Anti-Sentence. I think I was going to mention earlier, but didn't. Bark of Doran would be a nice card for going for it. I totally believe in the power level of this card on like a Gravelgill Scoundrel. Yeah, I'm definitely speculating on the Temporal Cleansing. Wow, Soulbright Seeker is such a strong one. It's out of its color pair, but we can probably get a lot of elementals. I mean, I actually wouldn't have hated that Goblin either. Okay, this is very interesting. So we're not taking the Sig. Could I take the Emptiness? 3 minus, so it's a 3/5 that puts 3/1/1 counters on something. Oh, return a creature to the battlefield. Move over, red. There's a new color pair in the house. When it enters, return a creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I hear Twilight Diviner would not mind that. Unfortunately, you cannot bring Emptiness back from the graveyard, but we're basically just playing the Blight Recursion deck that did not work out in this format, so we do need to find something to distinguish ourselves from the pack, right? Because I tried this in the early format multiple times, and it brought me from like Mythic, whatever, 97% down to Mythic 95%, just losing games on Black-White Blight. So I need to find a way to not just fall into that same trap that I did back in the day. Do I take Doran? I kind of want to. It means my Flamekin Guildweavers are pretty much outmoded. But, I mean, if I'm going to be playing this Emptiness, yeah, maybe. I did not see a lot of black, or sorry, I saw only black. I did not see a lot of green pack 1. And maybe not so much white either. I mean, red was very clearly the open color. But I actually wonder if we got into one of those situations where red was so open that the person to my left ended up in red. We'll see. I mean, it's only pick 2. But one other thing about Doran, by the way, you actually don't have to have perfect mana. If I am able to return it to the battlefield with things like Dose of Dawnglow, you know, it could be a situation where I'm just milling the Doran, right? Try to mill the Doran and bring it back. It's a classic graveyard recursion strategy. Could be. Here I'm going to take Foraging Wickermaw. I mean, I could take the Boggart Mischief, but I don't think that's going to end up being very good. And I don't know what else there really is. I mean, I guess Eldoranti could be fine if I'm in black-red and end up with a few Goblin synergies. I would just take Boggart Mischief over that in that case, though. Definitely not going to be in Merfolk or Vivid. Stratosaur is not very good here. So yeah, very happy to take the card that just has a Surveil on enters and also makes my mana situation a little bit more bearable. I am definitely looking for ways of fixing my mana at this point. But we also don't really know what colors we're in. Okay, well, there is a Flame Braider. That is such a good card. It's very hard for me to pass it up. It cannot be used to cast Doran, unfortunately, but it can be used to cast Emptiness. So it could be that the white for Emptiness is a minor splash. What if we were doing something like this with elementals going on? I kind of want to take the Flame Braider only because I definitely am not just going to become white-green because of Doran. That may be a pure splash, actually. Or it may be my only strategy is to discard or mill this card. I would need some discard effects. My red was just so clearly open, right? So here I probably will just take Tweeze. I actually don't hate the idea of Puka's Eye when I have such messy colors. I love Puka's Eye, and that will definitely be a going for it episode if I have time. The turtles come out pretty soon, so I'm not sure I'll get that many going for it's in. But here I'm definitely just going to take Tweeze. By the way, on that note, let me know how you're feeling about turtles. Really curious about that. Please leave a comment and let me know how you're feeling about turtles. I'm going to keep asking this. I'm very much on the fence about this kind of release, so I'm waiting to see how it goes. But very curious how other people are feeling about Ninja Turtle set. I guess I'll just take the Twin Flame Travelers. It's very possible I'm playing maybe I can try to play triple Foraging Wickermaw. This draft is a little messy. Okay, here I'll definitely just take another Bogsloth's Embrace. Yeah, it's very possible I play triple Wickermaw. I mean, if I can get every Wickermaw I can get my hands on, plus the Flamekin Guildweavers are making treasures. And then the idea is I have a bunch of recursion if I can discard or mill some of these cards. And then I have a bunch of... Oh, mill is really good for me, right? I mean, Furdock Core actually could be good. But... And then I just have one pip of 3 or 4 different colors. Could be a way to make this deck make some sense. Love the idea of mill, though. I hadn't even thought about how good that card would be. It is a good card for me. Here, kind of want to take Gleamermite, but I'm really not thinking I'm in blue. Elementals is always more open than it should be, for real. People should be drafting Elementals more in these best of 1 queues. I guess I'll take the 3-drop. I don't think Restless Ransacking is the fixing I need. Oh, Lasting Tarfire. How many ways do I have of blighting? I'm going to speculate on the Tarfire. Oh, actually, Silvergill Peddler is really good for a recursion deck, isn't it? Now that I think about it, this is the first way that I have of discarding something. Target opponent, so you can't anti-sentence yourself to discard your own stuff. That would be so funny. Okay, maybe actually take the Stratosaur for its land cycling ability. This guy blights, which is nice. So I'm actually in some kind of Grixis lane. Oh, Steam Fence. I bet I can wheel Steam Fence, actually. I don't think I take it here. I bet I can wheel it. I honestly bet I can wheel that card. So in that case, it's very likely I don't play the Soulbright Seeker. I already have 3 1-drops. Although I don't necessarily want to play all those Bile Vile Boggarts. I'm betting I can wheel the Steam Vents, so I don't think I want any of these uncommons. Really don't think I'm in white or green at this point. But if I can get enough Flame Braiders and Foraging Wickermaws, this Emptiness could still be activated for the white ability. Do I just take another Flamekin Guildweaver? I'm probably not on Nightmare Sower at this point. That seems like the road not traveled. So maybe I don't really want another 4-drop. But Flamekin Guildweaver is just so good. Can I play Champion of the Weird? How many goblins am I looking at right now? 3 goblins and 0 shapeshifters. I think Unbury, this is another big disappointment of the set. The fact that Unbury does not activate Twilight Diviner. It specifically has to be Dose of Dawnglow. I guess I could still take the Unbury. Is there anything that fixes my mana in this pack? No. Champion of the Weird is really good. But I don't think I'm on that. Why don't I take Unbury? The whole point of this deck is a graveyard deck. Another dose of dawnglow. Do I play triple dose? Triple dose of dawnglow? The Twilight Diviner build around. It's looking a little suspicious. I do need ways of discarding cards if I do that. Going a little high on dose of dawnglows here. I will say there's no roadmap for a deck like this. I might be the first person ever to try to build this particular deck. So yeah, I mean, Tweeze is a way of discarding. Silvergill Peddler is a way of discarding. I think I'm probably not playing that card. Let's try it. And then maybe I'm not playing the Unbury. Target player exiles 2 cards from their hand. I might just want the 2-drop, the flexible 2-drop. Unexpected Assistance could be good as well, honestly. Yeah, discard a card. Yeah. And then we're really split across 3 colors. We're really split across 3 colors. That's the one issue. I mean, Mischievous Sneakling is very castable. I think I'll take this, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to find enough mana fixing, essentially. So Changeling Wayfinder is absolutely a gift in this situation. And we're just going essentially full Grixis with our triple Flamekin Guildweaver, Foraging Wickermaw, Changeling Wayfinder, hopefully wheeling that blue-red land. I should have taken it over Unbury in retrospect. I'm just so used to wheeling those duels in this set. I almost treat it as like a free wheel, which obviously I shouldn't do. Maybe I'm on the Brambleback Brute here, or maybe Gnarlbark Elm, actually, for the reasons that I was talking about earlier. Kind of could be repeated removal. I'll definitely cut Glamormite. And here I guess I'll just take a Blightrot. Seems fine. So cut the Unbury. Maybe I'm cutting 1 Bile Vile Boggart. Probably not on Temporal Cleansing. Yeah, blue is not looking like my strongest color, is it? Maybe I'm just hardly in blue. I kind of like the Unexpected Assistance. Okay, next turn we have to get our land back. Oh, but Gristleglutton is an amazing find. That is an amazing, amazing find, because this lets me discard my cards. I wish I could have gotten another Gristleglutton. Darn it. Yeah, okay, so I should have taken the dual land when I had the chance. Okay, so maybe I'll cut the Silvergill Peddler. Maybe my only blue splash is a Twin Flame Travelers. Is that still worth it? Is it still worth it is the question. Scarblade's Malice, maybe I could play. Probably not. A few questions. Do I play Doran? I think I do. I mean, maybe I do play the Silvergill Peddler as well. Cut Gnarlbark Elm. Probably don't want to play Blighted Blackthorn. And then I have like 4 ways of discarding cards and a whole bunch of ways of surveilling. Is Doran actually good in my deck? If I were able to cast it, would it be even a good card? Because I could also cut the Twin Flame Travelers here. Super interesting deck. I feel like I use my brain so much more in episodes of going for it than in usual drafting, which is probably a bad sign. Okay, I'm going to think for a moment about my splash. Okay, so I think this is the deck. This seems super fun. So the blue splash is just the Twin Flame Travelers. I'm also splashing Stratosaur because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways of producing a blue pip. Seems okay. And then I also have a good number of ways of discarding cards and just recurring things. There's Tweeze for discarding. There's Tweeze Gristleglutton. And actually, maybe I will play a Silvergill Peddler. It's even greedier. But look, I have a lot of ways of splashing for that pip. And then I also have Flame Raider. Actually, I didn't count that, but this could land cycle the Stratosaur. And then you can Dose of Dawnglow it back. And Doran is really good with it. So I'm going to see if I can push my mana base this far. Remember, this is going for it. So we're experimenting. The whole point is to experiment. And then I can cast Emptiness as well for the double white. I have multiple ways of doing that. Twin Flame Travelers also, if I get it out, then the Flamekin Guildweavers are making multiple treasures. So that's something. I'm wondering if I do actually play the 3rd Dose of Dawnglow, but I think we start with 2 and see how that goes. All right, so yeah, I mean, let's see. Obviously, we're experimenting, so this could go very, very badly, but should be a lot of fun. All right, we are starting with a pretty weak hand. I actually think I keep it. It's a little rough, but I can play the Changeling Wayfinder. I have my 2 main colors. I don't have that many 2-drops in my deck, so it's not like I'm mulliganing any hand that doesn't have a 2-drop. By the way, the land cyclers, I just kind of was realizing this while putting the deck together. The land cyclers are really good with the recursion. This is like a classic thing to do in Magic. land cycle something. This is true in Vintage Cube with the Lord of the Rings 1-mana land cyclers. All right, I'll definitely take my island. I do want a way of discarding Doran. Drawing Doran is not really the game plan. But if we can get into play, we're really happy. All right, so I'll definitely just be dropping Flame King Guildweaver here. I mean, it is kind of nice to have Twilight Diviner out and then be able to cycle the Stratostorer and play the Dose. But I think what we'll do is we'll play, here's the plan. Play Flame King Guildweaver, make a treasure. Next turn, play the Twilight Diviner. And if I draw land, I can land cycle. Otherwise, actually, I probably just land cycle no matter what, the Stratostorer to get it in the bin. And then I have Twilight Diviner out so I can copy the Stratostorer ability, right? So, oh yeah, no, right. I do it in the other order. First, I land cycle Stratostorer. I'm going to go and get a, I guess, a red, second red. Play this. This deck is awesome. I absolutely love this. Actually, first, why don't I attack? Because they can attack me. This deck is awesome. This is so much fun. I like this a lot. And then I'm going to Dose of Dawnglow. I hope that they don't kill Twilight Diviner. I really hope that. I think I do just put both in the bin. Doesn't really appeal to me to draw a bunch of lanes here. And then on my main phase, I Dose of Dawnglow Stratostorer, get 2 Stratosaurers. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Oh, am I going to get countered here? This looks like a counter spell. Oh, that's really annoying. Are you serious? Are you serious? Is this going to be a counter spell? I mean, that's so rude of you. I do want a way of discarding my Doran, but if I can get one more treasure... Okay, it's Glimmermite. Thank you. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I'm so glad that it's not a removal spell. Okay. Tapping Twilight Diviner? You want me to attack with the Guildweaver? Okay, I accept. I accept. I'm about to have 2 3/5 flyers. This is awesome. I love going for it. This is how I love to play Magic. This is my favorite way of playing Magic. Oh, I could actually... Now, that's interesting. I could actually Dose of Dawnglow my Flamekin Guildweaver now. Is that better than Stratostorer? Because it lets me play Doran. I don't hate that. I get 2 treasures out of doing that. I don't hate that. And then I can do it on... Then I can Dose of Dawnglow on the Stratostorer to give both of my Guildweavers flying. That seems pretty good. Oh, and now I can just play Doran straight up. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. This deck is so good. If you like Magic the way that I like to play Magic, go ahead and click subscribe. I love splashing, value, having fun, doing things that most people probably wouldn't spend their gems on. And when it pays off like this, it is so, so sweet. So if you enjoy that, go ahead and click subscribe. You can just expand the description below. There's a link at the top of it. Really easy, really fast. And you'll see all of my future going for it videos. All right, and now... I guess first I'll play the Scarblade Scout just in case I mill something incredible, but hard to believe that I'm going to beat the double Stratostorer. Yeah, that does not do it. So bring back Stratostorer. Okay, I'll give Doran flying. And I guess I'll give the non-token flying because I like having things in my... Goodbye. Oh, this is too awesome. This is too awesome. If I go 0-3 from here, fair enough. That was worth it. That was still worth the 1,500 gems. Oh, man. I love Magic cards. I might want to play that third Dose of Dawnglow, eh? Yeah, I kind of want to not play Bilefile Boggart. I don't know if it's actually Dose of Dawnglow, though. Maybe it's Blighted Blackthorn or something. I think... Well, I never want to have more than 1 Dose of Dawnglow in my hand, right? Maybe I'll just go for like Flame Chain Mauler. I kind of felt like I wanted, earlier in the game, I wanted to be a little bit higher impact. Drawing that Flamekin Guildweaver was so important for me. Otherwise, I might have just gotten steamrolled. All right, I have the sneaking suspicion that nothing will top that game 1. I cannot keep this, right? Like, I can't cast this removal spell. Basically, the only thing in my hand is a Blight Rot. This is a lot better. This is a lot better. Look at how many Surveil opportunities I have. I have a 1-drop that's going to Surveil me into other stuff. Yeah, should be able to find my mountain in a hurry. All right, do this, and obviously no attacks. I'm just going to be surveilling with this guy, but we already found a land to play Twilight Diviner and get some more surveils in, so that's really good. If I see Doran or something on top, it's going straight in the bin. Maybe I should just be playing the second dose of dawnglow. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So that's awesome. Go ahead and play this, and I'll play this. And then Dawnhand Dissident is going to blight onto the Twilight Diviner, and we're just doing Turbo Mill. This is a Turbo Mill strategy. Silvergill Peddler can go in the bin. And yeah, oh no, that's my island. That's an important one for me. So do I just want to... Yeah, so Silvergill Peddler in the bin means I can draw the Silvergill Peddler. I can actually recast it. Yeah, once I get the island, I can cast it. So essentially, end of their turn, Dawnhand Dissident is going to blight onto the Twilight Diviner. It's so sad that these two don't combo together. I mean, they're both rares. Like, I wish that they had made it so that they do. I actually thought that they did pick them in an early draft, read them more carefully, and realized that they wouldn't. They could attack to prevent me from surveilling, from blighting onto Twilight Diviner. So I'm going to blight onto that one. And then, actually, I don't know if that was worth it. The idea was now I can... Oh, I'm mixing this up. Sorry. Okay, that was a straight up mistake. Somehow I overrode in my mind that this was removing counters to do this, but that's a different card that removes the counters. Okay, so minor mistake there to do another blight. Going for it is a very complicated way of playing Magic. A lot of opportunity for mistakes. Kind of thought this was remove 2 counters and you can play something from your graveyard, but that's a different card. Okay, no attacks and end. That is a different card. So I can bring back Silvergill Peddler for value. My hope here is that I'm blocking the Flamekin Guildweaver. Okay, sorry. During your turn, you can cast creatures by removing 3 counters in addition to paying their other costs. So what I can do is I can remove Silvergill Peddler from the bin, blight onto the Guildweaver. Probably, I'm not going to do that right now. Right. It's not another card. It's just the other mode of this card. Sorry, I like confused myself in circles there. I'm absolutely going to accept this trade because I can just Dose of Dawnglow that guy and copy him. But yeah, the idea is definitely to remove cards from the graveyard and be able to cast them later. I just need 3 counters on my creatures. So I think I definitely will go ahead and blight 1 here onto the Diviner. Right, so now I get up to 3 counters. So I actually did everything correctly, but I confused myself into thinking that I was doing it incorrectly. Classic me. Classic me move. So let's just get double Flamekin Guildweaver, unless they have instant speed destruction for the Diviner. This deck is freaking awesome. And now I even have Blight Rot up. Oh man, this is the most fun I've had in Lorwyn, I think, period. Winning a box was kind of sweet in the Arena Direct, but this is another level of awesome. Okay, so they're tapping those guys down. Do I want to Blight Rot? I don't think I care about that. By the way, I really want this card to be good. That could be another going for it episode. Yeah, so I'm gonna let them attack. I don't think I care that much about these attacks. Like, I'm about to play a Silvergill Peddler next turn, I believe. So hold on. Removing 3 counters. Does that mean that I can remove stun counters? They're gonna get removed on my upkeep, but would I be able to just remove the stun counters? That's totally sweet. Man, I love going for it. It's like you just learn things about Magic that you never learn when you're playing only with the best cards. I can also exile their stuff. I can't cast their cards. Would I rather Changeling Wayfinder? I think the Peddler. It just stops their 2/2s. I can't cast their cards from their bin. I would rather lose the one that I can recur. But I can exile them, so you can make your opponent's like Morkant's Eyes worse, for example. Okay, so let's go ahead and probably play this Silvergill Peddler and Twin Flame Travelers. Makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to attack with Twilight Diviner probably. So I'll play this. I'm going to remove 1, 2, and maybe remove 1 from this guy. Maybe having this guy bigger is a good idea. Wait, what? Didn't I just specify the counters? I'm a little confused by the interface. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was a little odd. And then I think I will attack with Twilight Diviner. No real reason not to. And then I will play Twin Flame Travelers, because there's no board wipe for me to really worry about. This deck is so good. This is awesome. Grixis control like it was meant to be played. Reanimator in Premier Draft in Lorwyn. This is just so good. I think I am going to put the other Dose of Dawnglow in my deck. It's just so good. I mean, the nightmare scenario is you draw a hand with like Doran, 2 Dose of Dawnglows, and you don't even see the Twilight Diviner or the Dawnhand Dissident. And yeah, sorry that I got confused about Dawnhand Dissident. I really knew it removes counters at some point, but I was kind of expecting the second ability to. So my bad, that's on me. You should always know what your cards do, but in some decks, you're playing cards that are a little bit more unusual. Let me just put it that way. So I think maybe I'll cut the Flame Chain Mauler and just play Dose of Dawnglow, get 1 step slower, but 1 step more fun. But I am a little wary of the high number of non-creatures that I'm now playing and the high cost of my curve. So if I get rolled over in 1 game, I'm going to immediately reverse that decision. All right, absolutely, I'm going to keep this hand. Totally awesome hand. Flame Braider accelerates me into Flamekin Guildweaver, accelerates me into Emptiness. It can even activate the Stratosorer or accelerate me into Stratosorer. Just a totally awesome hand. So I can go, I don't know if I actually do play the Flame Braider on 2 because it's such a removal magnet. Like, they could just Blight Rot it next turn. I mean, I think you just ask the opponent to show Cinder Strike or Blight Rot or whatever. Looks like a instant speed removal. Nameless Inversion. Yeah, it is such a removal magnet. But that's just because it's so good. Okay, opponent missed a land drop. Like, I don't think you're supposed to not play it there. I don't think so. Let me know what you would do. I don't think you're supposed to not play it. Kind of like the second black so that I can activate Emptiness. Oh no, but I can already do that. So next turn, I'm going to play Flamekin Guildweaver. And then the turn after, I can play Doran, actually. That's kind of awesome. All right. Back to my turn. All right, Flamekin. Using our mana advantage, and in fact, even increasing our mana advantage. Kind of wish I hadn't killed my Flame Raider. That would have been a mana advantage, but you can't have everything in this life, can you? That's what I always say. If I draw a land, then I get to play Emptiness and kill their Prideful Feastling, for example. Do I care about that, though? Kind of want to just play Doran. So I'm 1 short of playing Guildweaver into Doran. Kind of want to just play Doran and attack. I think that sounds pretty hard for the opponent to deal with. There's Feed the Flames next turn. That would definitely be one option for them to deal with this. But yeah, attacking with a 5/4 here seems pretty good. I can't cast this. I can only land cycle it, which I don't want to do. Doran, I always forget this first ability on Doran, the acceleration. It makes Emptiness 1 cheaper. That's pretty awesome. I want to play my Guildweaver first, though, because then I can actually activate both modes of Emptiness, and I would be able to bring back the Flame Braider. Well, this is a obvious Blight Rot if I've ever seen one, or a Cinder Strike, so I will, of course, just be taking that damage, especially with an Emptiness on the way. I guess, actually, was that a mistake? That was a mistake. I should have blocked with Foraging Wickermaw. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that. Foraging Wickermaw would get +2/+2. But actually, maybe I don't want to. It was a mistake not to think about it. But actually, I think maybe Foraging Wickermaw is just really important for me. So I could just play Emptiness here. Not for the double white, but I would get rid of Prideful Feastling. Is that actually just worth it? Maybe forget about everything I said about Foraging Wickermaw being important. Maybe I just want to play Emptiness. Yeah, I actually probably should have attacked with Foraging Wickermaw previously as well. Yeah, let's just play Emptiness. It's so good with Doran. I get the double black cost here. I'm going to kill the Prideful Feastling. Okay, you drain me for one, fair enough. And then I'll go in with the team. Everyone gets buffed a lot, and I have an amazing blocker. Wow, my deck is so awesome. This is absolutely my favorite deck I've ever built in Lorwyn. This is just so good. I could hold the land for like the Boggart, the Gristle Glutton, I mean, or Tweeze, but I think I just play everything out here. I'm about to play a Stratosaurus, hop probably Doran. They have represented Cinder Strike or Blight Rot, something like that. Something that does less than 5 damage. More than 2, but less than 5 damage. Or 2 or more. So it could be Seer as well. All right, you got me. You hit me. You hit me for sure. Okay, now actually, to be honest, so I probably go Guildweaver into Stratosaurus. I don't think I'm about to get... I mean, the way that I get punished is if the last card in there, or the card, they're looking for 1 red and they're going to play Soul Immolation. But I don't think you're supposed to play around Mythic board wipes that your opponent has given you no evidence that they have. So actually, I think I hop the Forging Wickermaw, because that's the only card that can be blocked down by Chaos Spewer. And then in with all these guys. And even if it is Soul Immolation, yeah, they would need to keep their Chaos Spewer alive. Furthermore, they would not even kill Stratosaurus or Emptiness or Doran. What a deck. My opponent did get mana screwed in this game. And it's not over yet, although it seems pretty over to me. But my deck feels pretty powerful. This is such a cool one. I love going for it. Yeah, and I'm liking... I mean, I didn't see any Dose of Dawnglow's there, but I am liking the slightly slower build, to be honest. That was one of the most aggressive decks that we'll face. They did get mana screwed, but it didn't seem too terrifying. So, yeah, on to the next one. Bit of a rough one here. Bit of a rough one. Feel like mulliganing it. Well, I could Tweeze pitching the Stratosaurus. Actually, that's worth keeping. Definitely a control hand. My opponent's going to 5. Wow, I'm getting really lucky with my opponents. Let's just say my opponents are getting really unlucky in the last few games. Whenever people mulligan to 5 in best of 1, I do always wonder, oh, Dose of Dawnglow to bring back the Stratosaurus. Yes, the plan is working perfectly. I'm not going to play this Chaos Spewer. I'll just hold up Tweeze, because I would love to discard this Stratosaurus, and perfect. The perfect opportunity. Goodbye, Stratosaurus. And now we are just trying to recur that guy. All right, play a land. No big deal. It's not the greatest to Dose of Dawnglow your Stratosaurus. Honestly, let's just try to get rid of any counterplay. Not the best card ever, but might as well just fire off the removal while we have it, right? Yeah, so like we could do better. I don't necessarily want to play the Stratosaurus right now, because a 5/4 is pretty good, but most importantly, Stratosaurus has an Enters effect that would be wasted if we just dosed it immediately on an empty board. Okay, so here I'm actually going to go in with the Flame King Guildweaver. This guy gives -2/-2. Yeah, not a big deal. Because now Stratosaurus is looking really like it can do a lot of damage. They're at 15, facing 9 damage next turn. The card that I would most love is... Oh, you blight onto that. Interesting. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. The card I would most have loved to draw would be the one that duplicates cards that come in from the bin. And we had exactly enough to play it, but it was not to be. That's fine. So I'll bring this guy back. I'll hop Chaos Spewer, the non-trampler, in with both. Gives them an opportunity to like triple block and whatever. I think that's perfectly fine. They're in top deck mode at this point. All right, putting you to 6. And then I will absolutely just play out my Flame Braider, get a little bit more stats on the board. Doesn't matter too much. I have them on a 2-turn clock. They do have card selection on their side with the Gristle Glutton. Next turn, I'll absolutely just attack with everything. I don't mind trading this Flame Braider. Okay, you can just kill the Flame Braider. That's fine. I guess I gave them a target by playing it out, but yeah, maybe they were going to do it anyways just to get stats down. Bogswith's Embrace. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one for the opponent for sure, because it removes the clock from them. But I still have stats on my side. Silvergill Peddler, not necessarily the draw I'm looking for here. But yeah, I'm just going to go in with the team, right? If they want to triple block me, that's okay. This guy only does things as a sorcery. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have played out the Flame Braider. Maybe it just gave them too many options. If they're chump blocking, I'm really happy. If I'm in their shoes, I'm definitely wanting to trade. But this is really good because if I can kill that Gristle Glutton, I can start attacking with Silvergill Peddler potentially. Well, they might just remove counters from the Gnarlbark Elm. I'm no longer in a position where I'm like winning on the board, but killing the Gristle Glutton seems really good for me because then I have card selection and they don't. Okay, they decided to block like that. I'm definitely not going to do damage like that. Arena always suggests the worst damage. Putting you to 1. But you do go back up to 3. And then I'll go ahead and play Silvergill Peddler. Thank you for the treasure, Mr. or Ms. Flamekin Guildweaver. Dr. Flamekin Guildweaver, I assume. What's it gonna be? So probably they remove counters from the Gnarlbark Elm, right? Making it a 3/4. And then I think I do attack. Oh, you have your own dose of dawnglow. You're a gamer, I see. You forgot to mention that you're a gamer. Well, I can attack. It's a little rough. So this turns into a 3/4, meaning Silvergill Peddler could not attack into it. Yeah, that's a little annoying. That's a little annoying. Where's all my power? Where's all my powerful stuff? I'm happy I'm playing the 3rd dose of dawnglow, not the 2/2. Wow, that's a little annoying. I felt very in control earlier in the game. But we've really petered out, haven't we? Well, I highly doubt I'm supposed to attack here. I highly doubt I'm supposed to attack here. Sucks to just completely lose my momentum. The fact that they just had Bogswith's Embrace, one of the only pieces of removal in their color pair. For the flyer is really annoying. However, that is a dose of dawnglow. Yeah, and it also removes, it also exiled that card, right? Here it would be lethal if it were not exiled. But so dose of dawnglow, I could attack with Chaos Spewer first. Ask them to do a double block. And then bring back Chaos Spewer. No, because, yeah, I actually could pay 2, right? Yeah. Without even having to play my extra land. That's probably better than the Flamekin Guildweaver. I don't really want to save the dose of dawnglow because I kind of need the resources right now. So let's attack. Ask them to double block. I will absolutely kill Gnarlbark Elm. Oh my goodness, you have something? You have something relevant? Or are you just thinking about blighting? You might as well blight before damage. You have 7, so that would go down to 6, so I couldn't kill them both. So you can blight onto Gnarlbark Elm and I still can't kill both of your creatures. Okay, fair enough. I don't hate that. Just chumping? That would be really interesting. Okay, sure. Now the question is, would I rather bring back the 5/4 or the Trampler? And I definitely think it's the 5/4. The stats are just so good. It's a lethal attacker. So I'll do this during my main phase, and I'll pay the 2. And end. Really want to kill that Gnarlbark Elm. I really want to. They have no more drain left on the board. All right, well, clearly I just attack with this. I don't think I also attack with the Silvergill Peddler. I could on the theory that they have to block the Chaos Spewer, but if they have something, it just feels so bad to attack with the Silvergill Peddler. All right, in with both. And I'll discard a mountain. All right, we got there. Very nice. Yeah, what a resource-starved game we had there. No one could really draw anything. But that's what happens sometimes in Magic when neither deck has card selection. I actually have a lot of surveilling, but I didn't get to do any of that game. All right, totally awesome 4-0. And that's my goal, by the way. Getting back my gems is always my goal with these events. Everything else is gravy. We're deliberately playing a strategy that we know is not the best in the format, so everything else is gravy. Awesome hand. Amazing hand. Hopefully they don't have a removal for my Flame Braider again. But if they do, fair enough. I would say, like, honestly, a majority of the time that I play Flame Braider, it just gets instantly removed, which is totally sensible and correct. It's just a little disappointing because you're looking at all the stuff you could turbo out and how amazing your life is going to be, and then they just kill it. But, you know, that's Magic. They're also in the same exact removal colors. Kind of a sweet Blood Crypt. They have a, I guess they like own this card style. That's cool. Opponent is thinking hard. To Cinder Strike or not to Cinder Strike? That is the question. All right. Nothing doing. So I'm just going to play a land, play a Flame King Guildweaver, and be very happy. Gangly Stompling. I see how it is. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That is what I'm talking about. This is the card I'm trying to play. Time for a hop. Time for a little hop. And now another Flame King Guildweaver. When they kill my Flame King Guildweaver, I get to Dose of Dawnglow it. Life is good in the chunky elementals Grixis control deck. Tweezing my guy. That's fine. That's fine. I accept. They did not try to bluff an attack. I maybe wouldn't even have blocked. I'm actually not sure. All right, I'm gonna go in with both. I'm sure not blocking. I'm the beatdown. And I don't really care about this Flame Braider. I mean, it did a very wonderful and amazing job for me. But I don't need it to keep doing wonderful and amazing jobs for me. All right, we're definitely out of gas now, a little bit. I mean, we have one more Flame King Guildweaver to play. Blight Rot. That's a little annoying because I can't Dose of Dawnglow it. But okay, in with this guy. And then I'll bring back another one, I think, right? There's no real reason not to. A little tedious to not be able to draw anything, but... Okay, I was gonna say if they play something with 5 toughness, I'm kind of smoked. Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't have fired off the Dose of Dawnglow. Oh yeah, I was just thinking if I draw Doran, I can play it. That's a totally sweet one. And I was also thinking this guy had a 2 difference, so it would have actually done 1 power in the air if it had survived. It would have been a relevant attacker. But this is such a nutty attack. Yeah. Wow, is our deck actually good? I can't tell. Is our deck actually good? Are we going for it, or did we just build a really good deck? I don't know. I can't tell. This is so awesome. Don't let anyone tell you that Lorwyn draft is boring. There's so much to explore in this set. So we're 5-0. I would love to trophy. We don't have any red, right? So we have to mulligan this one. Unfortunately, it's too bad. Would have been awesome if we had red. This is an awesome hand. So, yeah, I have to put Doran back. Like, I have to find a way of discarding it or another way to make a treasure. You know, like, one thing I could do is put the land back and just say Dawnhand Dissident is responsible for finding me my lands. I'm on the play, though. I think that's not worth it. We're going to find things to Dose of Dawnglow. It's just sad to have Doran all the way on the bottom. What can you play for 1 red? The 2/1 elemental? Yep. Yep. I'm in a little bit of trouble. That guy's really good. That guy's really good, and our hand is pretty slow. Oh, are they stuck on red, though? That's really annoying. Oh, Scarblade Scout. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, my friend. An interesting 2 cards to mill. They are stuck on red, but they're saying that like Flaring Cinder is responsible for. Oh, they're about to Flame King Guildweaver and get their other color. All right, Saner. Okay. All right, this game might not go our way. Snap block, obviously. Yep, and now they have their turn 3 Saner. Oh my goodness. You can just play a Flaring Cinder off of that. All right, I have half a mind to just concede right here, but let's let our opponent cook. Let's watch them go off. This will be fun. So you play your Flaring Cinder, pitch something, find your blue mana. You're not even discard. Oh, they drew an island by coincidence. Okay. All right, I'm definitely going to go for Flame King Guildweaver here, and then if it dies, can Dose of Dawnglow it. Or maybe I want to Twin Flame Travelers and then Dose of Dawnglow. Interesting. Restless Ransacking. So they think of themselves as an aggressive deck. Or they have some suspicious splashes. Flamekin Guildweaver. Yeah, that's a fairly good one. I have a feeling our opponent's highly synergistic, highly powered Elementals deck is going to have the edge over our janky Graveyard deck. Even if they didn't do that incredible play with Soulbright Seeker into turn 3 Saner. So, congrats to the opponent. I mean, that's totally sweet. I'll actually just take this one. Because I kind of want to have Twin Flame Travelers in play by the time I Dose of Dawnglow my Flame King Guildweaver. I don't know if that extra treasure is going to matter, but... And more importantly, I want to trade... Oh, Cinder Strike. Oh, dear. Okay, we're getting to the point where we can just concede. I don't really think there's anything that rescues us here after the turn 3 Saner. My hand was also very weak as well, right? Yeah. I love the art of Twin Flame Travelers, which makes sense because it was drawn by the same person who drew Bouncing Beebles, my favorite card ever. I love how much art he got in this set, by the way. All right, I'll look at one more draw, but I think I'm getting crushed to the extent that it's starting to bore me, and I just want to keep it moving. I'll just say no blocks, I guess. Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe I will bring back... Yes, I could bring back, like, Dawnhand Dissident, and that's my best way to, like, get something going. No, I think I just need the stats. You know, it's not over yet, actually. It's not over yet. Eclipse Flamekin. Blossom Bind. They don't even want to play the Eclipse Flamekin? Oh, that's brutal. What else do they have to do? Locking down the Twin Flame Travelers. Oh, maybe a land into... No. Why wouldn't you want to play Eclipse Flamekin? That's what I don't understand. They have a 1-mana spell that they want to play here. Another Soulbright Seeker. Okay. All right, I'm just going to commit some blocks. But we're conceding next turn almost. I can't think of a card that I could draw that would make me not concede. Yeah, that's not it. All right. Turn 3 Saner is going to do it. Oh, dropped a game. Our 5-0 run was pretty implausible. We had to get pretty lucky against some opponents for that to work, I think. So the magic may be fading now that we're in the 5-1 bracket. But hey, we made a gem profit. Again, anything after this is gravy. All right, awesome hand. Love it. This is exactly what we're looking for. We have all of our colors, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Ours is not a deck that is good at curving out, so kind of rare to get a hand that does, not to mention having all my colors. Oh, wish I'd seen you last turn. That would have been so sweet, but okay. That's fine. Evolving Wilds. Okay, we're not playing against a fast deck. Oh, heck yes. Combo online, my friends. I'll play Twilight Diviner, and let's hope to put something in the bin here. And then I actually will just attack with Gristle Glutton. I don't really want to pitch any of my cards. The Mountain into Flamekin Guildweaver lets me play Dose of Dawnglow. I really want to get a creature in the bin here. The only reason to Blight with this guy is it accelerates my Dawnhand Dissident recursion, but my main recursion plan is Dose of Dawnglow anyways. All right. I love when people pop... Oh, Tweeze is a good one, right? It lets me discard Flame King Guildweaver and play Dawnhand Dissident. That's a nice line. Oh no, but discarding the Flame King Guildweaver is awkward because I need to make a treasure in order to play Dose of Dawnglow. I think Blightrock can go in the bin, but I think I'll keep Tweeze. I guess I could pitch the Dawnhand Dissident and I could bring that back, copying the Dawnhand Dissident. That's kind of awesome, isn't it? What if I do that? Pitch the Dawnhand Dissident, draw Tweeze, play Flame King Guildweaver, and then at least I know I have a creature in the bin. Okay, maybe that's cooler. Surely there are better things to copy though, right? This is an interesting choice. Do I attack with Gristleglutton or do I discard Dawnhand Dissident? Honestly, I think I want a creature in the bin. It's a little eccentric to make this my Dose of Dawnglow target, but look, best case scenario, we find something else to get in the graveyard before then. Worst case scenario, we get 2 Dawnhand Dissidents in play with a Twilight Diviner, and we're just like blighting, surveilling, and going absolutely bonkers. So I'll blight onto itself and pitch the Dawnhand Dissident, draw card. Draw card, and then if they're gonna... Okay, that's actually kind of nice. If they're gonna counter anything, it would be Flame King Guildweaver. I want the info before I attack. I think it's gonna get countered, which is awesome for me, because then I can Dose of Dawnglow it. Totally, totally sweet. That is so good. The fact that I drew a land means I don't really care. Hopefully they don't have another counter. Yeah, it means I don't care about not getting the treasure. Okay, phew, awesome. This is beautiful. Now I get double Flame King Guildweaver, and I can Tweeze the Shorelurker, and if I draw a bad card, I can discard it to Tweeze. This is awesome. This is best case scenario. So go to my turn. I do play the land. Dose of Dawnglow. Oh no, sorry, I can't... I have to use the land to cast Dose of Dawnglow. It enters, I make a treasure, and then I get a copy. And then do I just play the Flame Raider? It would be bad if I draw Doran, but it would be good if I draw Emptiness or whatever. The double white elemental. I think let's not. I think I actually might want to get rid of that Flame Raider. Now, obviously, I regret discarding the Dawnhand Dissident the way that things turned out, but we didn't know that we would get Flame King Guildweaver in the bin, right? You're attacking me. Now, that's a little eccentric. That really concerns me. Marrow Sky Swimmer? Wouldn't you want to block my Flame King Guildweavers? Do you think you're the beatdown? A little odd. All right, pitch the Flame Raider. Yeah, that was a little odd. Oh, yeah, okay. Do I bring back the Dawnhand Dissident? Kind of just want to play a Stratosaur. Stratosaur doesn't really matter for me though, does it? I kind of love the idea of getting double Dawnhand Dissidents, and now I'm just going bonkers on like bringing back every card that hits the graveyard. That sounds kind of awesome. First, let's attack with these two. If they double block, then I could also bring back Flame King Guildweaver. I guess they think they're the beatdown. That's surprising to me. That has trample. You can double block. I would definitely double block the token if you're going to double block anything. All right. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Getting a bunch of damage in. And then, yeah, let's just do it. Double Dawnhand Dissident is going to be pretty sweet. This is so cool. I love my deck. I love my deck. So Gristleglutton can blight onto something, and then I can recast Flame Raider from the bin. Gristleglutton, yeah, I need to keep it alive so that I can return, so that I can remove 3 counters. But yeah, next turn I can play a Flame Raider. Are you going to attack? Wow, this person loves attacking. A lot of people online in Premier Draft, especially at like gold rank, and I'm not ragging on my opponent by any means. Everyone is at a different place in their Magic journey. Maybe they have good reasons that I'm not aware of, right? So blanket disclaimer, not trying to be rude. People online, by and large, in my opinion, are far too aggressive. Actually, no, I don't want to do this. Far too aggressive. In this situation, how are you attacking? Like, I'm clearly the one who's pushing damage, right? You're like so close to just getting smoked. Very, very aggressive to be attacking here. Like, one removal spell. I guess maybe I'm too passive. Maybe like I'm waiting for counterplay. So I kind of like the idea of this removal. Yes, it means that I can't play my Stratosaur, but if I draw land, then I can. And also, it means that I'm pushing damage no matter what. And I could have also played my Flamekin Guildweaver from the graveyard. So I'm going to give... I could push 1 extra damage by jumping a Dawnhand Dissident. But I kind of want to tap both of my Dawnhand Dissidents, so I guess I'll just go in for 7. I don't think the 1 damage is changing their clock. Bonk, bonk. And end, because I can't cast anything. I don't know, maybe they have Soul Immolation here, so that's why they were attacking a billion times or something. If they can kill Stratosaur, they can get some life back from the Preacher. Okay, so first I'm going to Blight onto this guy. Might as well Blight onto itself, Surveil. Do I like that? 3/3 Flyer seems good here. I only have 1 recursion spell left in my deck. 1 more dose of dawnglow. Yeah, just more power in the air seems good here. Yeah, maybe I was too aggressive. Maybe I should have held back for the Wonderbrine Preacher in case they had a way of tapping Stratosaur. But are they even making a life profit? Wonderbrine Preacher gains 2, but it would also save them 2 in trample damage. So aggressive. People online are so aggressive. Yeah, you didn't need to attack, but okay. I would say just general blanket advice to the online Premier Draft Magic community, attack less. A better player than me might say that I should attack more. I do think maybe I'm like too passive in some spots, but it's partly a reaction to just how ultra aggressive people online are. All right, on to the next game. Like there are concrete situations. In that game, this is just a really good example. And if you disagree with me, go ahead and comment. But in that game, oh no, I don't think I'm keeping this. First thing comes down on turn 4, and that's responsible for fixing my mana. Oh, this is somehow... Actually, maybe this is a little better. I don't really want to go to 5, so I'll put back the Embrace and basically Tweeze into Guildweaver is the plan. At least I have something to do on turn 3 in this hand. And I had an opportunity. In both hands, I had an opportunity to get a 1-drop and play. Oh, no. Wow. What did I do to deserve this? 1 more win and I trophy. I would love to trophy with this deck, but 6 and 3 would be pretty good as well. That's one of the best cards in the format. Total bomb. But yeah, in that situation, like the 3/3 is holding back my Trampler. That was probably worth like 8 HP to them to not attack. What was that 3 damage doing? Getting me from 17 HP down to 14 HP? How is that more important than preserving 8 life or 7 life when you are at like 12 and I have more creatures in play? Okay, we're hoping that they're going to play Morkan's Loyalist, but they're clearly not, or they would have played it before combat. Another Eclipsed Elf. This game is gone. This game is pretty much gone. You know, after Eclipsed Elf into Eclipsed Elf with Morkan's Loyalist, I don't really think I can make it back into Selfless Safe, right? I'm not going to concede, but you can pretty much write me off in this game. My deck, I mean, in episodes of going for it in general, when you're just trying to make like fun build arounds and stuff, I guess I'll play the Dawnhand Dissident because card selection is so important for me. You're never going to build one of these like off meta decks that is going to be the best version of the best decks. Morkan's Loyalist, double Eclipsed Elf. This is like the best copy of the deck that has performed the best online. There's not a secret off meta build that you can consistently get in draft that's going to be better than the best deck, right? What you're doing when you're going for it is figuring out, when I'm at a draft table where elves is taken, like 3 people are fighting for elves or whatever, how can I win around the margins? What can I do to maximize my chances of winning by doing so, by zigging when everyone else is zagging, or vice versa, by not just going Kifkin and fighting for someone with who's also going Kifkin, by not just going Merfolk, whatever, by not just playing a bad copy of the Blight deck? Are there build arounds where I think, hey, if pack one, pick one, I see Twilight Diviner do I know how to turn that into a deck? And if you've been practicing online and just doing super fun stuff like this, you'll actually have that experience and you'll be able to say, yes, like I know what it takes. I actually should play all 3 copies of Dose of Dawnglow, you know, because that's what my deck wanted that time that I did this, right? I think I have to, I mean, okay, so what I could do next turn is play the Twilight Diviner and exile Morkant's Loyalist. We're getting really low on life, though. Maybe I exile Stoic Grove Guide, and I'm just saying, you know what? I need your looping of Eclipsed Elf to not be good enough. Yeah, Vinebred Brawler, wow. Maybe I shouldn't have kept that on top. It just feels kind of hopeless. I can play this and exile something. Both of those can go straight in the bin. I would like a land, honestly. And then, yeah, I have to exile the bigger creature, right? And then I'd better Blight onto the Dissonant. I'm not literally dead, but I'm pretty close to it. And they have an indestructible trick here. I guess I'll see one more draw. Hard to imagine how I could possibly get out of this, though. I mean, I think I cannot possibly get out of this. So I'll take 5. Block. I have to block. You know, I guess what I can do is I can chump block. And then my idea is Dose of Dawnglow. Maybe I can get enough power and toughness on the board. Maybe they don't play the safe right here because they want to save it. And then I get 2 creatures back. If they play 1 creature, I'm not literally dead, right? So now I'll get double Flamekin Guildweaver. What did they play? Reaping Willow. Yeah, that's a more passive. Oh. Yeah, I think I literally die now, right? I can Dose of Dawnglow. So, oh no, I actually couldn't. I actually can't even play. I had to draw that land to even do this. Bring back the Flamekin Guildweaver. I get 2 treasures. But I can't even play anything for those 2. Okay, but they need to activate their Reaping Willow before combat for me to be dead. Obviously they will. But let's just ask them to show it. Let's just ask them to attack with everything. But yeah, they got me. They got me. I really needed to... I really needed to have better draws against that deck. But honestly, I think I really needed them to have worse draws. Even my best hand against Eclipse Elf into Morkant's Loyalist into Selfless Safe Right. Yeah, I don't think my deck, again, these off meta decks, they cannot be the best version of the best deck. And that was pretty close to like, if you don't get, like, forget about rares and mythics. If you could pick your common, like 3 uncommons to play turn 3 and turn 4, that would be pretty close to like the best lineup in the whole set. I would probably pick Eclipse Elf, right? Do we keep this? I want a trophy. I really want a trophy. It does let us play the Emptiness turn 5. Turn 3, 3/2 Chaos Spear to keep us alive. Turn 4, Flamekin Guildweaver. It doesn't have any of our awesome synergies. I don't think I want to mull. It's slow. It's really slow. Blightrot's actually helpful. If I fall behind, that could pull me forward. I really want the old bordered lands. When are they going to come back to Arena? Wizards, please. No, not another awesome elf stack. Not another awesome elf stack. Yeah, the 6-1, 6-2 bracket gets pretty brutal. And now your Morkant's Loyalist has targets. Oh, and now I draw my 1-drop after all that. Maybe I'd rather Blightrot. I really want to exile this Morkant's Loyalist. I want to keep it alive forever. Maybe better to Blightrot than to trade off the 3/2, which could later on be bigger. All right, Blightrot the Scarblade Scout, take 3. I would love to have gotten my my synergies off one more time. That was so much fun when I was just copying things. Moon Vigil Adherence. Why does everyone have the best deck possible? Oh man, what's happening at these draft queues? I mean, all I can do is play Flamekin Guildweaver. And then I probably do just play the Dawnhand Dissident. I need everything to go perfectly from here on out. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have kept the emptiness around, to be honest. I think I have to block. I don't think I really have an option. Yeah, now they get High Perfect Morcant back, though. That's too bad. I wish we'd faced just anything but the very best elf decks in a row. Because I would have liked to combo off one more time. Forget about trophying. I would have just been really happy to get to like copy some Flame King Guildweavers and whatever. But hey, we had our fun. Our deck had no right to be in contention for a trophy. It is really tantalizing to be literally going. So here I can't play the Changeling Wave. Okay, I'll just play the bigger guy then, yeah. It is really tantalizing to be, you know, have 2 chances to win a game and get a trophy, and then run into like the perfect elf curve out 2 times in a row, but it happens. It happens. Now they're gonna play High Perfect Morcant, buffing their Moon Vigil adherence. I have to put a -1/-1 counter on something. I can no longer even double block. Yeah, but hey, our meme deck totally overperformed, right? I mean, I mean, I'm dead, right? Like, this has trample, so I can't chump block. It's GG. Okay, that was so much fun, though. That was totally awesome. Super happy that I made a profit on gems. When you're building this kind of deck, taking 3 Dose of Dawnglows over better cards, you are just looking to make your gems back. And I actually profited 300 gems total from that. Let's do a little bit of deck tech just to see what we learned. The Stratosaur was totally sweet. Silvergill Peddler was maybe a little bit greedy, but the idea of land cycling, this classic thing, you see it in Cube, you see it all over the place, of land cycling a creature and then recurring it. It's absolutely real in Lorwyn. It's a little awkward that I only had the off-color land cycler. If I could have found the Kullwrath, if I actually should have picked that Kullwrath Zealot that I saw early, right? I mean, maybe it was up against like Dose of Dawnglow or something, I think. It was up against something that I obviously had to take. But I wish I'd seen another one and gotten an on-color cycler. That would have been really good. Twilight Diviner plus Dose of Dawnglow was so awesome. I loved that. Dawnhand Dissident was also totally awesome. It's not synergistic with the Twilight Diviner in the way you would hope, but it's totally synergistic with Gristle Glutton. I never saw my Bogso's Embraces, almost never. That was a little bit sad. But Tweez was really good, and Doran was a totally sweet inclusion. Actually, the card that did nothing for me is Twin Flame Travelers. Kind of wish in retrospect that I had not played the Twin Flame Travelers and had just played like Flame Chain Mauler, honestly. Be a little bit faster. That's probably a change I would make if I could play another game. But yeah, anyways, Dose of Dawnglow, you know, it has a role. If you have Twilight Diviner and you're at a table where all the tribal cards are taken, then totally, like, this deck is for real. I mean, you know, copying Flame King Guildweavers with Twilight Diviner out was just absolutely awesome. And getting to play Doran, like playing an off-color rare, you actually could recur it with the 3 recursion options. It was totally possible. I essentially never had Doran stuck in my hand that whole game, right? Only for very brief periods before I found a way to run it out and it won invariably. I would love to build a little bit more tightly around like Stratosaur plus Doran, something like that. But yeah, this was a totally awesome deck. Super loved the graveyard recursion. For future episodes of Going For It, to learn things about Lorwyn that no one else is risking their gems to show you, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. And until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic and don't be afraid to splash.